Energy bills are climbing, but they're still far from their peak. And at this activity centre in Exeter, many are already anxious.
I think this winter's going to be frightening. I live alone. I've got a plan with a friend who also lives alone. If we need to, we'll go half-time in each other's houses, leaving one house cold for a week.
Helen is an intensive care nurse and worries about the impact on elderly people who fall at home.
They won't come in alive. There'll be a 90-year-old who froze to death in their home. It's appalling. It's appalling when they come in alive on the brink of death. It'll be appalling if we don't get them in because they're already dead on the floor. Those poor paramedics and those poor people.
Everyone here seemed to be feeling the pinch.
It's now a huge portion of my wages every month. It means less available for, especially in the summer holidays, for taking the kids out. Holidays, basically. It doesn't matter what provider you're with, it's expensive and people just simply can't afford it. I think we're going to get to a point where people have no choice.
That's exactly what Keir Starmer is keen to avoid. Elsewhere in Exeter, the Labour leader has been launching his £30 billion plan to freeze fuel bills.
Lots and lots of families are just going to really struggle.
But critics argue it isn't targeted and subsidises everyone, including the wealthy.
Sir Keir Starmer, how much do you earn?
I earn just over 80,000 as an MP, and I earn more than that for being Leader of the Opposition.
So in total, what's that a year?
About 130, 140,000.
Can you afford to pay £4,000 a year for energy bills?
Yes, but the programme I've put in place today is a programme to ensure that the price increases that are scheduled for this October and for January don't take place. At the moment, the price cap is at just under £2,000. In October, it's going to go to £3,500, and in January to £4,200.
But you've just said you could afford to pay that yourself.
Many households are impacted by that. I've been talking to people here in Exeter from all sorts of different backgrounds with different incomes.
The point,
they are all worried about it.
The point, though, is that your household isn't one of those households. Do you understand your critics who are concerned that you're not targeting support, and instead some very wealthy people, including yourself, are getting this government subsidy, which is costing £30 billion?
This is across the board. Because many households are impacted by this. It has the massive benefit that it doesn't allow the price increases to take place in October and January, but it has another benefit which is really important, and that is it reduces inflation by 4% because it's across the board.
The energy price cap has risen from £1,200 to almost £2,000 in recent months. That's what an average household pays per year. Labour's freeze would save families from what's coming next. Predicted increases to £3,500 a year in October and £4,200 a year by January. On the quayside, some agree with Labour's plan.
What do you think the government should do?
Well, they should cap it, shouldn't they? They should stop it.
Are you having to change what you're spending because of that?
Yes, I won't be down here. Go into the cafes for coffee, etc. Yeah, I should cut back a bit, yeah.
Keir Starmer is playing catch-up on energy bills. The Liberal Democrats and SNP have already announced their support for freezing the price cap. But Labour have set out far more detail on what they do than either Rishi Sunak or Liz Truss, one of whom will be tasked with tackling this crisis in just 3 weeks' time.
More support from government is highly likely because tougher times are on the horizon. Joe Pike, Sky News, Exeter.